I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind.
Just watch me. Just watch me.
I got you wrapped around my finger, but don't you try to call me tomorrow. There's nothing personal in having a little fun. You wait and see if it's worth your while. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind.
Just watch me.
Give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind.
Just watch me. Watch me. Just watch me.
Something tonight I'll be guessing, but I don't really have a case. You don't have to mention, you just like their attention. It's written all over your face. I don't wanna play the quiet type when I'm near you, reading old messages on my phone every time I see you. Tell me, is this part of an act, just to keep your image intact? If you think that strategy's smart, I'm not gonna defend my beating heart. Defend my beating heart. You knocked on my window and slept on my pillow, then said you had found your place. Not sure if I want this. You don't think that I notice. This isn't like giving you space. I don't wanna play the quiet type when I'm near you, pretending that I don't know who you are every time I see you. Tell me, is this part of an act, just to keep your image
What? What? What's up, guys? What is up? Technical difficulties. How are y'all doing tonight? My name is Shawn. This is Shawn Ide Studios. I'm going to be your host tonight. What we're going to talk about tonight. Oh, first of all, can you see me? And can you hear me? So I want you guys to let me know in the comments if you can hear me okay and if you can see me okay. Because those are the important things. It's going to be a stupid live stream if you can't hear me or you can't see me. So let me know in the comments if you can hear me or see me. Preferably if you can do both. We're streaming to 2 YouTube channels tonight. One old and one new. And so, yeah, we're going to try this thing out. Hopefully we won't have any trollers tonight. Hopefully we can have a good, positive live stream. All right. Stephen Drone says, what's up? Termy says, howdy. Yes, okay, both okay. All right, we're good to go. So what we're going to talk about tonight is old tech. Is it still good? I get a lot of flack on my YouTube channel because I review things. I like to get new toys and I like to talk about them. And sometimes, people are confused why I buy new things. The reason I buy new things for the most part is because I run a YouTube channel and I want to bring exciting new technology to you guys and I want to talk about it. And hopefully out of that, you guys can make a good decision as to whether or not you want to buy that for yourself or not. So that's really my ultimate goal, is to buy things off the shelf, not get them from... well, so far I don't get anything before it's released to the public. I have to pretty much buy everything myself. And then what I do is I review it and tell you whether the other YouTubers that reviewed it before me, months before me, were telling the truth or not. Whether they left things out. I try to pick holes in things, but I try to be honest, as honest as possible with you guys. And a friend of mine, he is going on vacation next week, and he has a special event that he wants to record. And so where all this came from is, there's a couple things that happened this week that made me pick this topic tonight. I had a guy go on, it was a Unique Breeze 4K video that I put out maybe 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and I put in the thumbnail, "Best 4K drone for under $200" was the title of the thumbnail. And at the time, I truly believed that statement. Okay, when the Breeze 4K came out, it was like maybe $500 or $600, and it was not worth that, but it was worth $200 all day. Okay. So I put that out, but I got a comment, it was either today or the day before, of, "I completely disagree with you." And so I commented to the guy, "Do you disagree that it's, what part of the video did you disagree with? Or are you just disagreeing with the fact that it's not the best 4K drone under $200? And then I asked, "Did you disagree with me 3 years ago, or are you disagreeing with me today about this video that I put out 3 years ago?" So, what I want to talk about tonight is cameras. What you do with them, what you want to do with them, and whether something from a couple years ago is good enough. I have several videos on my channel that I review things that I purchased off Facebook. I used to purchase things off Craigslist. And I would get a good deal on a drone. I saw a Unique Typhoon H this week on Facebook for $250. And I think it has one broken leg. So all I'd have to do is fix that one broken leg, and all of a sudden I've got a Unique Typhoon H that maybe I spent $300 on. Is that a good deal? Yeah, I think that's a good deal. when I sold my Unique Typhoon H, I think I sold it for maybe $450. It's still a good drone, and it's still worth a lot. Um, the uh, the DJI Mavic Pro that I just bought, I bought it for $600, and I got pretty much the Fly More kit. I got a bag, I got extra batteries, I got the charging hub, I got all that stuff, and I spent $600 on it. And even though it's a 3-year-old drone, it is still very capable. It will still fly in the sky. It will still take 4K video. Yes, the newer drones have made improvements, but you guys as consumers, is it, what are you going to do with it? I review things on YouTube and I try to get the best quality possible. But if all you are going to do is go on a vacation and take a picture of the ocean, or fly, over your hometown, or even if you're learning how to fly a drone, the unique type or the DJI Mavic Pro, the original one, is plenty of drone for you. You know what I mean? It has all the goodness of DJI. They've improved things, but that drone by itself is very, very, very capable. And you can buy them used for about $600 now. I've seen them range between $600 to $800. A drone and a package, like the package that I got, was it was maybe $1,500 at the time, and I got it for $600. What's up, Mad Bryn? All right, we need to do some roll calling. So far in the chat, I've seen Termy, I've seen Brent, Steven Drones is here, and Mad Bryn is here. He says, hi there, mate. Are you from Australia? Mad Bryn loves the Typhoon H. I think the Typhoon H is a great drone. I really do. I still enjoy flying my Unique Typhoon H Plus, and the fact that it can carry a payload. And Nacho still has his Mavic. When he was in town, we flew together, and I showed him the DJI Mavic Mini, and he had his Mavic, and we raced. And his drone that came out over 3 years ago beat mine in a race. It's a fast drone. It takes beautiful 4K footage. When you're up in the sky, you don't need insane detail. Even though I do put videos out, the new Evo 2 Pro that I got has insane detail and it's beautiful video, but it also takes longer to render and all that kind of stuff. So the big thing that we're going to talk about tonight is what kind of video do you need for what you're doing. I came to the realization, I don't know why I haven't come to this realization yet, but my channel is basically about video. Taking video in the sky, taking video in all directions at the same time, taking video with small, tiny cameras, and live streaming video. So if you picked a focus of my channel, it would be video. And then if you took my channel and went into subcategories, it would be drones, action cameras, regular cameras, and live streaming. Okay? But Brent's talking about super zoom cams. I don't know what he's zooming in on. But Steven Drone says he just got the Canon PowerShot SX540. Has full HD 50 times zoom. I don't know what that is. Let's see. We are going to remove you from the stream. Well, that's weird. Everything changed. Did it change for you guys? Maybe it didn't. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look up the Canon SX540. First camera from the chat. Oh, I remember this camera. All right, so we're going to pull this camera up. Oops, I should probably add it to the stream, huh? All right, so this is a camera that's on sale right now for $259 at B&H. 20 megapixels. It's awesome. Long-reaching zoom. So it has the ability to record HD 1080p, 60 frames per second with a 50 times optical zoom. Now, is this one of the cameras that the lens doesn't come off? Is that what I feel like the lens is permanent. And I feel like I had something like this. I think I had a Sony that was like this. Yeah, so it looks like the lens does not come off. Is that correct? Okay. Here's customer images. Takes good pictures of dogs, Nacho. So that's good. 360 view. Let's see what this is. Ooh, nice. So this is a 3D render of the camera. But yeah, 50 times zoom. What do you need more than that for? And then, yeah, I think that's awesome. So the real question of the night is, what are you videoing and what type of video do you need? The Autel Evo 2 Pro, the drone that I just got, it records in 6K. But I will have to say that my 5K Mac struggled working with the footage in Final Cut. And once I uploaded it to YouTube, I don't think it ever made it to 6K on YouTube. I think it just made it to 5K in processing. And then who has a TV to watch it? Now there's some things, there's some things to say about if you're doing something professional and you're doing it for like the Space Center. There's a Space Center down in Huntsville, Alabama, and they have video clips, like historical video clips of when we went to the moon, or all these different flights. If you're taking a moment in history, there's a chance that if you take insane footage that, we're going to catch up to that footage. Okay? I put on my Facebook page, I put a small clip of my wedding. And my wedding at the time was recorded on mini DV with a Canon camera that was like a $4,000 Canon camera at the time. My church had several of them. And, at the time it was amazing. But at the time, our computer screens were like 600 by 800. And the video looked great on it because the resolution sucked. Or you go back and watch reruns of TV shows that are, in a smaller format. Right now we have everything in widescreen, but it used to be 4:3, so all the video footage used to be in squares. And even my wedding was in a square, but I zoomed in to kind of fill the screen. So technology is always getting better. Resolution is always getting better. I walk around Best Buy and I see some of the TVs coming out for Christmas, and just the video footage is amazing. But if you're not in production, if you're not making movies or, making product videos, what kind of videos do you need as a consumer? If you are just recording, your kid's graduation, or, the family reunion or your trip to the zoo, I mean, what kind of camera do you actually need? I was on a forum, it was on a chat with Drone Worship, and we were talking about, um, do I need to stop buying drones? Like, is drone technology getting better? And he was coming from this perspective of FPV flying, and actually flying the drone and the hobby of flying. And, all these drone companies are bringing out better cameras on the drones, but it feels like you're spending thousands of dollars for, 30 frames per second or HDR. Like there's like one function that probably could be fixed in firmware or probably could be updated. They're not all hardware things. Prime example is the Rilo 360 came out as a 4K 360 camera, and then in a year they updated it to 5.2K. And like Insta360 came out with a new camera, and I was like, oh, it's better than Rilo. And then Rilo was like, firmware fix, we're still good enough. And it's like sometimes these companies they hold on to their best features so they can have something in their back pocket to pull out. So I have been completely not looking at you guys talking. So I'm going to go through the chat a little bit and catch up. Greetings, everybody. Matt Bren. Nacho's here. He still has the Mavic. Mad Bren's from Ireland. Nice. So we've got somebody in here from Ireland. I'm Irish. My last name is Ide, and my great-grandmother lived in a farmhouse in Ireland. And some of my cousins actually went to go visit that farm in Ireland. So I am like, what's that, 4 generations away from Ireland, where my family came from. So yeah, welcome to the chat. Stephen Drones. Oh, that's what we were talking about, the power shot. Nacho, I just don't lose. Super zoom cams are fun. Welcome, Mad Bren. Thanks. Hi, eat more possum. GoPro Black 7 that I have. You can't beat the stabilization. Yeah, GoPro has really gotten good at stabilization. There's a video that I do on my channel where I compared the stabilization between the Insta360 1R, the GoPro Hero 8, and the DJI Osmo Action. And it's interesting how those 3 companies handle stabilization differently. But if you don't compare the 3 cameras and you just want to use one of them, like all of them are great cameras. Someone asked me, what was his name? It wasn't Everyday Dad. It was, I don't remember his name. That's bad. I need to start remembering people's names. But he asked me a question on the other forum when I was on Drone Worship's channel of, is the which is better, the GoPro Max or the Insta360 1R? And I couldn't answer that question because I like them both. They both have great features. If I was to buy one of them, I would probably buy the Insta360R just because I can upgrade the lens, and it's modular, so I can add pieces. And that's something that I've kind of wanted in a camera for a long time, was to be able to upgrade the camera without having to buy a whole new camera. And I would love for somebody to come out with a modular drone so that I can put different pieces on it, have a FPV drone, have a videographer drone, and be able to swap cameras like the Unique Typhoons. I'd love to put a thermal camera on there just to try it. I have no reason for a thermal camera. But I would also like to do, a 4K camera, or I'd love to be able to swap out for a 360 camera I would want the Insta 360 1R with propellers is what I want. But I would love to be able to put a Insta 360 Titan on there. Nacho says he has the SX720HS. Loves it. 4 times and yet so compact. Yes, for the money. RL Photography had the Rilo and liked it. What's up, RL Photography? Welcome. Nunley is here. Dinner time. Have a good night, everyone. Nacho Rolling says, father of 13. I don't know what that meant. And then... Yes! Yes, it was Dad Random. That's who it was. He had a big rubber ducky as his icon. I had a great conversation with him. It was really cool to finally meet him. We've seen each other in the chat of different people's live streams, but it was nice to be on. And Jose Rodriguez was on there too, and he said that he's been watching me for a long time, so I thought that was really cool. So it's kind of neat to see people. Oh, what's up, Ron? Yeah, I don't remember things. I wish I could. Like, when I'm in a chat and people have their names on there, I remember them. Or if we're, if we talk to each other on Facebook or stuff like that, I start to get to know people's names. But, and I just remember Brent's logo because he's been on here forever. He's a faithful, and Nacho's a faithful, and Nunley's a faithful. But yeah. Oh. Sorry, I got a squirrel. So Ron, you planned any trips lately? What time is it? So it's 7 o'clock. I think I'm going to run the intro real quick, and then we're going to come back in. So, here's my intro. I haven't come up with a format yet, but welcome, guys. Welcome to Shawn Ide Studios, 7 o'clock. We've already done the pre-show. We've had the chat going for about a half hour. But if you're just starting to watch at 7, welcome to Shawn Ide Studios. We're talking about old tech. Is it still good? And what we've brought up so far in the chat, we've talked about the Canon PowerShot SX540. It's only a $259 camera, guys, and records 1080. But if you don't need 4K, this camera is awesome. So, do you need to spend thousands of dollars on camera gear just because it's the latest and greatest? I will say, when you purchase one of the higher end cameras, they tend to not get outdated as fast. I often look at pawn shops and I'll Google cameras that I see at the pawn shops, and some of my best video cameras I've found at pawn shops where people either didn't know what they had, or they bought way too much camera than they needed. A lot of the cameras that I've bought have flash memory on them. They don't even need SD cards, and they still have video footage from the last person that owned it. So I think it's fun to go through and just kind of watch their footage. I bought one video camera for my son, and it had someone's trip to the Grand Canyon. So it was really cool to sit back and watch his home videos of his trip to the Grand Canyon. So that's kind of exciting to me. It's kind of like finding a treasure, someone else's videos. Yeah. So something else um, invited someone to be on my live stream, but I didn't have enough time to properly invite him. So um, we're going to try to have a guest next week, but we'll see if that works out or not. Michael Blades here. What's up? Welcome to the chat. Everybody's greeting each other. Stephen Drone says, I wish a GoPro 7 had a 50 times zoom. That would be the best. So, it's funny that you say that. There is a company, let me see if I can find it. Is it Backbone? I'm going to share my screen, guys. This is something that I've actually wanted for a while. Let me know if my screen's big enough for you guys. This is a company called Backbone. And what they do is they take GoPros and take the lens out and swap it out for other lenses. So check this guy out. I love that orange. That looks good. So this is a GoPro. So it comes with that bag. But what they do is they modify. They basically take the front of the camera off, take the lens out, put a place for a sensor. Or they probably use the sensor from the GoPro, but they just swap out the optics and they put a way to put. They make a way to put other lenses on your GoPro. So what it looks like is this is a CCTV lens, like for a security camera, but they've made it so that you can screw it right on. And then, as you can see, it's a screw mount. So I've had cameras in the past that I've been able to buy old Russian lenses off of eBay and screw them on my camera. So these are M12 lenses. So anything that you can screw that has the M12 screw, and a lot of those are CCTV cameras. You can put fisheye lenses on them. A lot of people will get GoPros and put fisheye lenses on them to get 3D. So let me see what else we have. So they have a Hero 7, a Hero Black, or a Hero 8, 7, and a 5. And this is a version of two GoPros, basically turning it into a 360 camera. But we also have the GoPro Max that already does that. But check out all these different mods that you can do. So anyway, that's something that I think is really cool. Here's a bunch of different cameras. Here's a 220 degree fisheye lens. Here's a 3-time macro zoom for your GoPro. Here's a 6-time lens. And you can put this 6-time zoom on Hero 3, 3 Plus, 4, the 7 Pro, the 6 Pro, and the 5 Pro, and the 8. So just so you guys know, these are the different body styles of the GoPros. So the 5, the 6, and the 7 all matched their body, like they all fit in the same cage, and then 8 adjusted its body type. So that's pretty cool. So there you go, Steven Drones. There's a place to spend your money. So yeah, so what else you guys want to talk about? Um, we've talked about the DJI Mavic Pro and how I think it's still more than a capable drone to record 4K footage, um, especially putting it on YouTube. YouTube compresses your footage anyway, um, but you can find that drone used for $600 to $800. Um, and if you have a chunk of change, I buy things used all the time. I used to buy things just to review on my channel, to get a couple views, but um, I also think it's a lot of fun, just to see what you can get out of a video camera. Um, we didn't go to camp. We're not going to go to camp this year, but the last couple years I've gone to camp with my son, and I've been the videographer for the camp. And I decided that I wasn't going to video all day and then edit 4K video, because I don't get to edit video until about 10 at night, and then I'm editing video from 10 to midnight for the next day to show the video to the kids. And so I decided 1080 was good enough. So if you decide that 1080 is good enough for you, I spent a year on this channel in 1080, and my videos did just fine. And there are a lot of people that still haven't moved to 4K on their channel, because they don't feel like there's a point. Like, most people's computer monitors are still 1080. Like, I have a 5K Mac, but I have two monitors that are still 1080, and they're fine. And I've noticed, I watch YouTube on a 4K television, but most of the people that still record in 4K or still record in 1080, their video still looks great. So if you've decided, I do everything in 4K because I want people to watch my videos 5 years from now and still think it looks good. Because there are a lot of videos that I see on YouTube now, older videos that were only uploaded in 720. There's even some in 480, but the 720 videos are, when I watch a 720 video on my 5K Mac, it's starting to look a little dated. But when the pros are just using 1080, why go to 4K? Why do you need to? And if you stick to 1080, then the world is your oyster. There are, 1080 cameras have been around for a long time. I was talking with Brent Newman this week, and I was trying to get him, some different camera options for his church, and so it sent me down this path. And I want to show this camera to you, and I did not even know it was out. There's two cameras that I think are just awesome, and I'll see if my history is here. It'd be awesome if my history was. No, I don't see it. And I'm trying to think. It was a Canon. Maybe this is it. Yep, that's it. I'll have to get something to drink. Excuse me, guys. So, if 1080 is good enough for you and 60 frames per second is good, this is a Canon Vixia HF-W10. It's an HD video camera that is waterproof. And this is the first time I've ever seen a camcorder be waterproof. I've seen cameras, I've seen action cameras, I've seen point and shoot cameras, I've seen 360 cameras. I've seen all those things be waterproof. I still haven't seen a camcorder that was waterproof. And maybe I'm just out there. But when I saw this, I was like, whoa, that's a great idea. A lot of people are saying that, a lot of people have kind of categorized camcorders as old technology. Why would you want a camcorder nowadays when when a DSLR can record beautiful video and you can swap out lenses and all this kind of stuff? And I will say that a lot of those cameras, if you're putting them on a tripod and you're doing what I'm doing right now, I'm looking at my computer screen with a camera above it. A lot of people are using their digital SLRs to do that, and their footage looks great. Like, I could make the background blurry. I can get that with my camcorder, but it's a little tricky. But there are a lot of people that use that for their video. Sorry, I am starting to sweat. So I'm going to turn my fan on and let me know if it bothers you guys, okay? Stand by. Man, oh, wrong button. So I've got a paper towel. I'm going to be wiping myself a little bit. Wiping the sweat off me, Nacho. Not wiping myself. But yeah. So Stephen Jones says 3840 by 2160 looks very good on a 4K monitor. Yes, it does. Isn't that 4K? Is that not 4K? I feel like 4K would look good on a 4K monitor. But whew, I'm getting the sweaty head. So, sorry, I had a squirrel there, guys. But, Mad Bren says, guys, good night to you all. It's after 1 a.m. over here. Hope to be able to catch y'all later. Yeah, Mad Bren, thanks for coming. It's so cool when I hear where everybody's from. So I really appreciate you coming all the way from Ireland to hang out with this redneck, chubby, middle-aged man. So thanks for hanging out. But yeah, so I've told you guys before, but I'm going to say it again, why I like to use camcorders as opposed to photo cameras for video. I know there's a lot of cameras that they're photo cameras, but they've added a lot of technology in them. My hair's getting all... Wait, I got to fix my hair. This is hard to do. There we go. But a lot of people, you can definitely get a better shot, a more cinematic, creative shot with a digital SLR. But what I love about using camcorders is they are made to record video, and they're made to record long videos. I've been using Canon camcorders for years, and all of my Mad Brett called me a redneck chubby. Thanks for coming, man, or woman. I don't know if you're what you are, but thanks. But the reason I do it, so this camera right here, there's two versions of this camera. The W11, which is $279. I'm actually really thinking about getting this camera just for fun. It's $120 off right now. It was a $400 camera last year at CES, and then this year, at this point, it is marked down to $279. You can't get, well, you can, but this camera is waterproof, it's shockproof, it's a camcorder. Let's just go through these specs. Now, it's only 1080p, but if that's all you need, this is awesome. You could vlog with it on vacation. You could go to a waterfall with it. So you can record up to 1080, 60 frames per second video. It's got a built-in LED light. So it's got kind of like what your iPhone does. It's got a little built-in light. Shockproof, waterproof, and freeze-proof. So you can take it skiing with you. Advanced image stabilization. So all of my camcorders are very, very smooth. Okay? 4 times optical and 60 times digital zoom. So Stephen Jones talked about, you know, a GoPro with a zoom lens on it. This is kind of like a GoPro with a zoom lens on it. Not gonna lie. It only shoots 1080 again. But and if you don't know the difference between optical zoom and dynamic zoom, what optical zoom is the lens actually has multiple lenses that move back and forth like a telescope. Okay, and the lenses get farther away from each other or closer to each other to adjust the focal length. So that's what an optical zoom does. And then what a dynamic zoom or a digital zoom does is it zooms even farther in. But it just zooms in on the video or the resolution, so the resolution gets worse. What? Where's the light? So I shut my door, had both doors, and apparently somebody fell asleep in my office. So this is Zoe. You want to look at everybody? Nope. She's going to hide under my beard. So, I'm a cat lover, if you haven't noticed. This is my girl. This is Zoe. She's a tortie. But I did not know she was in the room. It's probably some roast beef on my finger. So, I'm going to let her out. She probably woke up because she had to use the bathroom. And I do not want her doing that in here. So let's go back to this. It only has a 1/5/8 inch 2.5 megapixel CMOS sensor. 2.5 megapixel isn't that great. So yeah, let's see. I feel like this video has some footage in it, and I'm going to mute it, and I'm going to commentate it the whole time. So this is, let's see if we can get some video that was actually shot on the camera. This was video that was actually shot on it. It's not that great, but it also might be compressed. But being able to take a video camera on a trip with you, like kayaking, that's awesome. That's not too bad. You can go underwater with it, 16 feet. So that's pretty cool. Shockproof. So you can hand it over to your kids and not worry about it like just messing up. Basically what it is a camcorder that's that's completely closed. So you wouldn't be able to change the battery if it was wet and all that kind of stuff. But it's just like your GoPros. This one's only 1080, but it would be awesome if they made a 4K version of it and it had a better sensor. I really, really want waterproof camcorders is what I want. I want a camera that can do what you're looking at me on, which I always forget the name of this camera. This is the Vixia HF G50. So let's look that up. So this is the camera you're looking at me on. And even this one's on sale. And it's back ordered, so people are actually buying it. But, I mean, this is a camera that I bought. Here's a refurbished version of it, which is $7.99. So you can spend $7.99 on a camcorder that records 4K video, 30 frames per second. It's got a circular aperture, which makes for great bokeh. 20 times optical zoom in 4K. And I love this camera. I use this camera all the time. It's a workhorse. It's got... let's see if I can make this big. Oh, all right. I see what I got to do. Okay, there. So it's got a SD card. It takes SD cards, not micro SDs, but it takes 2 of them. So I can put 2 huge SD cards in here, and I can either record to both SD cards at the same time. So just in case one flakes out, I can record to both A and B at the same time, or I can record to A, and then when it runs out of space on A, it'll start recording on B. It doesn't overheat like a lot of the smaller cameras do, which this is a small camera. It's literally attached to my monitor stand. It's got, pretty sure this one has, it's got an amazing screen that I can flip around. It's got great audio. It's got the zoom that's like in and out, which is a lot better than some of the other ones. So this one has a 4K CMOS sensor, a 1/2/3. But yeah, I love this camera. And then, let's see. All right, this is the other camera that I use all the time. So here's a great example of a camera that used to be $2,500 is now $1,600. And a refurbished version is only $1,200. This camera, guys, is amazing. Just amazing. So sometimes you can buy last year's model or the year before, like a 2-year-old camera that will do way more than the camera that the brand new camera that has less specs. Okay. I've done this for years at CarMax. I will buy cars from CarMax because I can get so much more for my money buying something that's only used a year or two than if I went straight to the lot and bought something brand new. So that's kind of what we're talking about tonight, getting things that aren't necessarily brand new So Brent Nunley says, or sorry, Brent Newman says, I wish the Vixia HF-W10 had a mic input. I'll probably go with the Vixia. Okay, so let's look that up. This is the one that Brent is probably going to go with. So, still, a really good camera. All he needs for his church is a 1080 camera. There's a black version, a white version. There's a basic kit. There's a deluxe kit. There's a home streaming kit. And refurbished, you can get that thing for $189. So that's awesome. Sorry, that was 10 minutes ago. So Stephen Drone said have zoom. Is that the waterproof one that we... So this one has a 57 times advanced zoom. Oh, holy! What are you going to do with 57 times zoom? That's crazy. That is crazy. So that one has 57 times zoom. And then the one I have, this one has 15 times optical zoom. And then the G50 has... I'm pretty sure it has zoom. 20 times optical zoom. So here's a great question. Nope, this one. Sorry, I'll get to that one in a sec. So Brett Newman says, do all entry-level camcorders chop up long videos into multiple 4 gigabyte MP4 files? So whenever a camera chops video into multiple files, it's because of the file system, not necessarily because that's the way the camera chooses to chop things up. And I believe it's FAT. Woo. I don't want to do that on live. We're going to go here. All right. So we're looking at this question. Yep, here's the answer. All right, so this is talking about the GH4. It's not a GH4 thing. It's most cameras nowadays have this this issue. The real reason that the GH4 splits clips into multiple files is due to the file size limitations of FAT32 used to format SD cards. This is because FAT32 file system only supports files up to 4 gigs, which amounts to around 5 minutes of 4K footage. Alright, so there is your answer. It is not. It doesn't have to do with the camera. It's the file system on SD cards. Now, any camera, a lot of the camcorders come with flash memory, and they will um, they will allow you to record longer than 5-minute clips, um, because they do not have that limitation. So there's that. But if you're planning on recording to an SD card, it's going to chop things up. And that's one of the complaints that I had on the Autel Evo 2 Pro, is that it doesn't handle that very well. I miss a frame or two every time it chops the clip. And so that is so frustrating. And there are a lot of cameras that do that. One of the things that people complain about is when their camera chops the footage, and you could be mid-sentence and you don't know when it's going to happen. What's funny is I have my OBSBot tail, that robotic camera that tracks me. It will give me a little beep whenever it stops and records another clip. I think my DJI Mavic Air does the same thing. When I've recorded enough, it'll beep to let me know that it's recording another clip. Either that drone or my Paradenofi. One of them does, and I have a video where I was like, "Oh, it stopped recording. Oh, wait, it's still recording," and that's exactly what it did. Termy says, what I need is cams, small action cameras, stabilization hands-free hat cam. Also be attached to a drone. All right. So I have... Where's it at? Don't look behind the curtain. So Termy, have you seen this guy? This is the Insta360 Go, and it's a tiny little camera that can record 5-minute clips. It's super stabilized. The video footage that you can get out of it is about 1080, but it's tiny enough to fit on a drone, and I've seen some really awesome footage of it on a drone. I put it on my DJI Mavic Mini, which we can... I hope we're still streaming. That's one thing I don't like about my gaming mouse, is it has a back button, and I just hit the back button on my live stream. So it says we're still streaming, so hopefully the stream is still going on. But what I want to do here... Give me a second. So this is the footage of me with the Insta360 Go on top of my DJI Mavic Mini. And it didn't stop as well as it should have because I put, there's some extra weight on that drone. That drone only weighs 249 grams. So, anyway, this is me crashing. So, enjoy. Just whacked right into a tree. Chopping some leaves off. I got stuck and then fell to the ground. But I got some really good flight time out of that. This is me. I've got this gully next to my yard, and they're doing some construction behind my house. So this is me kind of flying around. I did some pretty dangerous things on this flight that I'm not happy about. I went around and tried to fly onto my front porch, and my son happened to be there. But all right, Brent says I'm back. That's good. So, yeah. So, anyway, Termy had mentioned something about this, so that's why we're watching that. So you want that half the price at 4K. Got it. I've used some... that's right. I've purchased a dash cam from Yi. The company's YI. They make some really, really good cameras for really, really cheap. So that's something to look into. You can find them on Amazon and stuff like that. Yeah, Brent Nunley's with me on the dropping of the clips, or dropping of frames. This drives me nuts. Stephen Jones says, back in the day I had a camcorder that had a full VCR tape inside it. I had one too. The ones that I had that were like, they went from the large videotapes and then they went to like the smaller videotape, but I forget what it was called. I think it was like VHS-C. I had like Super 8 or High 8 or something, but there was also a VHS-C. Pretty sure that's what it was. And you put it in an adapter and then it stretched the tape out so that you could actually play it in your VCR. Do you remember those? I thought that was kind of interesting. That's what I had in college. So Liza Monty has a question, different subject. You're free to ask it. Termy says, I told you have to practice with a toy drone, non-altitude hold. Yeah. So Steve still has it someplace. I have... Where is it? Oh, it's back there. I'm not going to get it. But I just bought an old camcorder that plays mini DV tapes. And that's how I got my wedding video for my anniversary. So, what is LiDAR? Is that where it detects planes flying in the air? Because mine does that. Let me see if I'm getting that. Oh, a method of measuring distances by illuminating the target with laser lights. I'm not sure that my Mavic 2 Air has that. Mavic Air 2. Um, so, a high-end photogrammetry system costs between $20,000 and $30,000. I don't think it has LiDAR. If I'm looking at this correctly, it might. Um, oh, here is. Let's pull this up. So according to this, at CES 2020, DJI will showcase a wide product portfolio including newly incubated Livix LiDAR technology. Livix Sensor's groundbreaking new scanning method offers better performance at a fraction of the cost in autonomous driving, mapping, mobile robotics, and more. Let's see. Sorry, I'm skimming. I thought I saw it in here. Yep, I didn't see it. It said here, though, that... Oh. Yep. So it doesn't look like it does. The LiDAR system... Yeah, I still think they talked about that, though. We're going to check out DJI.com. This is the Mavic Air 2. They talked about something when they were talking about the new APAS 2 system. So let's go through... and check this out. Go. Blah, blah, blah. Am I making you dizzy? Where does it talk about? Yeah, so here it talks about the advanced pilot, like it talks about the APAS 3.0, utilizes advanced mapping technology for smooth following and reliable obstacle avoidance in complex scenarios. Obstacle avoidance performance and automatic flight planning has dramatically improved compared to previous generations, increasing safety and providing more options. So yes, it does sense. and even my Autel Evo 2 Pro has sensors all over it, but I think they're still cameras, and it's analyzing the 3D space. Much like a Kinect on an Xbox 360, and even on the new Xbox One, it's a 3D camera. All you need to analyze 3D space are two cameras, okay? And you take those two cameras, and you move them from left to right, and you can analyze in 3D, okay? So that's what a 3D camera will do, like like a scanner. But I don't think it has LiDAR. Or at least from what I was looking at, I don't think it has LiDAR at all. Brett Newman's my analyst. He's always good at finding things that I don't know or understand. But yeah. So really quick in the chat, everybody that's here, tell me what is the highest resolution you can record in, and what is the resolution that you watch videos most in. It could be 720 on the toilet at work, looking at your phone. Or it could be, you have a 4K television. Or, maybe all you do is watch videos on your computer and it only has a 1080 monitor. I want to know what you watch YouTube at, what you watch Netflix on, what resolution of video do you watch, and does it have to be 6K? Does it have to be 8K? Let me know. Liza, it's good to see you here. Haven't seen you in a while. So that's my last question to you guys, and then we're gonna call it a night. Because I am sweating so much. If you guys, a couple of you guys had a treat of watching me dance during the countdown video, so I thought I'd say that. Let's talk about this stream right now. This stream is only pushing 720, and is it good enough? It might not be good enough, and I'm okay with that. I didn't like the fact that it was 720 for a while. But the benefits of having conversations with other people on here outweighs 1080 or 4K streaming. Most of you aren't going to watch me streaming at 4K anyway. So, Brett Newman says 1080 on the phone and PC. I record 1080 on the drones unless I think I might want to digital zoom in from 4K to 1080. So, 1080 is the most important thing to Brett Newman. And that's why a lot of people use 4K, is so that they can zoom in on that 4K footage later. Me, I'm putting things up in 4K so you guys can see the pores in my skin. You can see the blackheads on my nose. You can see this little spot on my head, this little, whatever the heck that is. It's probably cancer. No, it's probably not cancer. I don't want to talk about that. But you guys can see my bald hair. You can see through my bald spot up on top. So I'm recording, well, I'm coming in, so I'm going in to a 4K camera, but I'm only pushing 1080 through the cable into my computer, and then that 1080 video is being compressed down to 720 on this stream because of StreamYards. So even though I'm using a 4K camera because it has an amazing sensor and things look so good on it, I'm still just pushing 720 to you. And there's a lot of people that use like a Canon C3 or these really amazing cameras that still only record at 1080, but they record in such good 1080 that if you up-res them to 4K, they would look better than a lot of the 4K cameras that we use. All right, we got one answer to my question. So, you guys might be lagging. There might be a little something. Oh, Steven Drone says 3840 by 2160. So he's watching in 4K. So that's good. Some of my drones only shoot in 2.7K, but it's really good footage. It allows you to zoom in a little bit on 1080. And some cameras that have good stabilization actually record at a higher resolution, and then they zoom in on their own footage before they even push it to the computer, because they use that extra frame, you know, the extra resolution pixels outside of the frame to kind of crop into so that the stabilization actually functions. So Liza's at 720. So yeah, that's it, guys. So old tech, is it still good? I would say yes. I would say there are plenty of cameras that have been out for years that are more than capable of pushing 720 and 1080 video. Now for Steve, yep, I come in at 720. That's true. I come in at 1080 some weeks when I'm using Streamlabs, but Streamlabs has crapped out on me twice. The last two streams I used Streamlabs, it did not work very good. So I went back to StreamYard. The StreamYard has been faithful to me, and I really, really enjoy this platform. And they just made it available to go live on mobile. So I am about to do a video about going live on mobile using StreamYards and completely promoting the poo out of StreamYards, because I think that's awesome. So yeah, Steve, I know I look good. I'm confident in myself. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, the video footage looks fine for streaming. You got to understand that if you're watching 4K on YouTube, the first couple seconds of that video starts out in about 720. Just watch. It might not say it down in the corner. You might set your resolution to 4K or 5K or whatever. But if you look at the video, first couple seconds are kind of crappy looking, and then it catches up. And what that's doing is it's streaming the video at the quality you can handle it. And then it's buffering itself so it can actually handle that video coming across. But live streaming, I'm pushing video at you all the time. So your computer has a hard time catching up to that. So that's why live streams are usually done at a lower resolution, because we can interact with each other. You guys can ask me questions, and I can give you an answer on the fly. That's why a lot of live streams are lesser quality. And doing live streaming, like when I got this house, I got fiber for the very reason that I wanted to stream in 4K, and then I realized how silly that was going to be, because nobody was going to watch me at 4K anyway. Now the replay is a different story, but live streaming at 4K is a struggle for most networks, most computers. Just the technology is not there yet for most people. So yeah, I think we had a really, really good talk tonight. Hope you guys had a good time. I hit the back button one time, so the stream messed up for a couple seconds, so I apologize for that. And I had to turn the fan on, but it looks like nothing went too bad after I turned the fan on. But yeah, hope you guys like this stream. Hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell for notifications of when I put out more videos about technology, cameras, action cameras, drones, live streaming, regular cameras. That's it, I think. But yeah, hope you have a wonderful night, guys. Peace out.